giving us another just comment about just how these games can be on players' bodies and things like that.
It's a lot of wear, it's a lot of wear and tear, especially when you've got players that are playing, upwards of 26 and 30 minutes a game. Just Timmons played 40 minutes today, and I'm pretty sure she played almost 36 yesterday. And so knowing that like these games and the way that the schedule is set up, it does take a toll on their body. And at the same time, being able to use some of those subs more and more frequently as they're continuing to get comfortable in what it is that we're trying to accomplish out there on the court is something that we're also looking at. But yeah, like the schedule is grueling, but every player that's in this league knew that coming in. And so we work really hard to try to just ensure that they've got access to high quality trainers and all of the rehab and recovery things that they need to take care of their bodies.
Timmons and Jones really stepped up for you guys tonight. How do you feel about them stepping up? I know without Diamond being there, but I think that they really did a good job of taking over in the scoring aspect.
Yeah, they did a good job, but I will say, just in terms of stepping up, I think where their numbers were is about where they've been for the last few weeks. In addition to having Diamond Johnson out there, they've been doing a really good job of picking up the scoring that's missed from Kamaria and Kristen. And so I'm glad to see that they're being so efficient with their scoring. We have to have a next man up mentality when somebody is out. We've got to be ready to step in as professionals and meet the task that's at hand.
And then just going off of just players stepping up with Johnson out, Nasir Pryor got the start, and she plays 39 minutes in this game.
Yeah.
And has 10 points to finish the game as well. Getting in double digits for her behind, of course, Timmons and Jones. So talk about just her stepping up into Diamond Johnson's place as the point guard for this game. So having to step up so quickly after last night's game into tonight's game.
Yeah, Nasira is definitely a more than capable guard to be, running point. I think she could certainly play and start in this league. She is a high quality, elite level player. I do feel like they're probably missing an assist or a steal from her. Like she normally has a couple steals a game, and I definitely thought she had some tonight. But she does a good job with managing even her size when they're trying to switch off on bigs. There were several occasions with Taylor and Z Spearman where there was a switch, and Olivia, where she held her own down there and they didn't get a touch on that low block. So imagine, yes, exactly. And so, I think that she does a good job of playing big. And, that's something that you can't teach. She's got the heart of a lion. And I think that that'll continue to rub off, and her toughness will continue to rub off on this team as we move forward.
And then kind of, like you said, moving forward, looking ahead, what are going to be the keys to making sure that you guys utilize this week and this game break as much as possible?
Yeah, the rest part, that piece of it is going to be really, really important. We do a good job of resting their bodies and making sure that they're getting the treatments that they need, but then also just getting everybody back together on the same page. We look a little disconnected and disjointed at times. And then also just, getting back on the court to work on our consistency. It's been a while since we've been able to score 20 points in 4 quarters. And so that is putting us at a super disadvantage. And we're doing, I don't think we were too bad defensively. They did shoot 49%, but we held them under 80 points and, 30% from the 3-point line. But we've got to do a better job defending right at the rim and defending that paint, especially coming out in defensive transition.
And then last thing. So, this was a tough game. We all saw, we all know. So what do you kind of tell your team in the locker room after this type of game to just prepare them for this upcoming weekend, playing this Savannah Steel team again Friday and Sunday next week?
Yeah. Today we talked about us. We talked about us and the things that we have to do and the accountability measures that we have to have for ourselves. Once we get back on the court, we'll start talking about more of the adjustments that we'll make with regards to the next times that we play Savannah next week. But for today, we just talked about us and the things that are necessary for us to make adjustments on right now, both from an on the court perspective, but also off the court and our learning, our learning plus the application of the things that we're learning so that we can properly execute the things that we're trying to execute, and just staying locked into the moment and taking each possession one moment at a time and not getting too ahead of ourselves when we make a bucket, but also not being too down on ourselves so that now we're out of it mentally if the other team scores. Like, we have to be level-headed, and we also have to be able to play through runs. They're going to make runs. We also have to make runs. The goal is to make sure that we're able to sustain our runs longer and be able to limit the amount of time that they're going on runs for.